ASEAN leaders have agreed to set up a Troika mechanism comprising the immediate past, current and incoming chairs of the bloc in order to ensure continuity in tackling the crisis in Myanmar. Here to speak about how the model could help the bloc in resolving the issue is Thomas Daniel from ISIS Malaysia.
The term Troika itself, within the context of ASEAN, actually goes back to the late 90s, to the pre-admission of Cambodia in 1997, when the organization then postponed Cambodia's admission after fighting broke out in June of 97. So to deal with that crisis, an informal grouping or a troika of the then three foreign ministers of Indonesia, of Thailand, and of Philippines were empowered by ASEAN's leaders to mediate between the different factions in Cambodia. So it's really not a surprise that ASEAN has decided to readopt this model. It was suggested several times in 2022, including by former PM Hun Sen of Cambodia when he was chair of ASEAN, and the original ASEAN Troika, one of the people that they negotiated with in Cambodia in 97 was Hun Sen himself.
Although there is no clear direction to how the Troika mechanism would resolve issues in Myanmar, he said the formation of the grouping allows a more structured approach in handling crisis.
One of the reasons that the Troika was formed is because there is a realization in ASEAN, a very belated realization, that the ASEAN chair by itself cannot effectively manage the complex and drawn-out crisis in Myanmar. So we have had, I think, three ASEAN chairs since the coup. We've had Brunei, we've had Cambodia, we've had Indonesia, and none of them have been really able to effectively manage this crisis. It's an extremely complex crisis. There are many sides in the conflict, and none are really ready to negotiate that. So ASEAN is really in this for the long haul, and the idea is to have a more structured system in place to respond. Even if there are no clear new approaches available, it's still a positive development for the regional organization in the long term. A difference that the Troika really makes here is that, to be the chair of ASEAN itself, it's a full-time commitment. There are hundreds of meetings a year. There are complex agendas to draw out, outcome documents to prepare, etc. And the next chair of ASEAN will be Laos, which is one of the smallest and one of the least developed states in the regional organization. Now, what happens here is that Laos can now count on the support of Indonesia and Malaysia on Myanmar-related matters, which then lessens the strain on other chair-related duties. And the same will go for Malaysia when we take over in 2025. It's a very important year where ASEAN's 2025 vision will come to fruition, where Malaysia is expected to shepherd the organization into the post-2025 vision. So having two other members, the Philippines and Laos, to sort of play a supporting role in managing the crisis in Myanmar will be very useful to the chair.